Where were you draft night?
I was at the draft.
You were at the draft.
I was at the draft.
You were in. So you were in backstage
in Nashville. Yep.
Oh, and no,
it was in Nashville.
This year's draft.
Oh, where was I at this year?
This year's draft in Green Bay.
I was home.
You were home.
Yeah, I was at the house.
Did you have any idea the Jacksonville Jaguars were going to trade up to the second overall?
Absolutely not.
So what was your reaction?
We just traded up to number 2.
Yes.
Like it was literally one of those reactions. I was at my house. I know we had pick 7 or pick 5. Pick 5. We had pick 5.
Uh-huh.
And so I knew we had a little bit of time. So I was just at the house playing with my kids, doing, dad stuff.
Figuring you got about an hour until you're on the
time.
clock. Yeah.
And then like my phone just starts blowing up. I'm in a group chat with my financial advisor and another teammate of mine.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, wow, that was a ballsy move. I was like, huh, what's happening? So then you got to go open up Twitter, so open up the social medias,
right.
And we traded up to number 2. I was like, wow. And this is the guy that I felt like, who can help us immediately. I think Travis was the best player in this draft,
mm-hmm.
hands down. And so to have him on our team now, it's I can't wait to play with him.
Well, before we get to him, and I want to dive into Travis Hunter in a second, Josh Hines-Allen, is what message does that send to you in year 7 and the rest of the veterans?
Go get them.
That they went ahead and and did something aggressive like that. What message does that send to you?
I love it. You get what you want, get what you need, mm-hmm. and get who you think is going to put value to our team.
Right.
So that's one of the first things that I've seen in our organizations, that we've done that we haven't done really. To trade, I know we traded up a couple of years ago to get Devin Lloyd to get back into the first round, mm-hmm. So that was cool. But to trade from 5 to 2 to get the best player, I feel like that was on the board. It speaks value for what we have building in our organization. I think James has done a wonderful job. I think Tony's doing a wonderful job. And I think just all 3 of them together, I think they're going to bring a type of synergy that can just coop us and make us an organization, get guys in here that's willing to compete, willing to buy in, and who wants it for not only themselves but for their team.
You're referring to James Gladstone, the new general manager,
mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, is only a couple of years older than you.
Yeah, but
it's like an age peer, man.
Yeah, he's a good evaluator of talent. I feel like
he comes from the Rams, sort of like Liam Cohen as well,
mm-hmm.
and so you're bringing a certain, like, if they're bringing what we're seeing here in Los Angeles from Les Snead and obviously Sean McVay, that's pretty big shoes to fill, but it's a certain mentality that where you're, if for lack of a better phrase, effing some picks to try and get
mm-hmm.
the guy that you want. In this
mm-hmm.
case, you trade a first-round pick in next year's draft to get Travis Hunter now. And you mentioned Tony Khan's going to be in this chair tomorrow.
Hey.
Still, he'll be here tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Get it ready for Josh Hines-Allen. So in terms of Travis, though,
mm-hmm.
what has he shown you over the first few weeks being in camp, Josh?
I mean, outside of what everybody else sees, when dancing and having fun outside of there, he's a super competitive player.
How so?
He wants to win. Like, you talking crap. This is the funniest thing I always thought about with Travis. Before we started practicing else, I'm like, okay, if he's going to play both sides of the ball, mm-hmm. that's awesome. Have the best playmakers on the field at all times. Cool. But how is he going to respond by, talking crap to each other and then having the next day go to that room with him? That was the biggest thing that I felt like
I haven't thought of that.
He's going to have to challenge, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
right.
When you playing with hair, everybody wants to challenge him, because we want to see what you're made of. You know what I mean? And that's, you spend a lot of time on the offensive side of the ball. You're going to have some defensive guys want to see what you're about.
Yeah.
And, we had a lot of that, had a lot of great competition. I love the competitiveness that he has, but I also love the guys that we got that can talk it and back it up and then prove that, like, this is an everyday thing. And he's stepping up to the plate every time. And then the next day, now you have to go in that same meeting room with those guys and correct what you just had, what that person did to stop you or what you did to make a play on him. So I always thought that process right there was going to be the funniest thing. But
how is that working out? Like,
I'm not in those meeting rooms. Really.
Okay.
But I know, he comes in. And another thing I like about what Coach Liam does is, when Travis is playing defense, I'll go up to him, hey, throw the ball to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, see if he's going to make a play. And then you see that viral clip that he had. it was literally that play. I came up to coach and was just like, bro, throw him the ball. We're trying to see what he can do. Literally, ooh, go ball, throw it up, makes a play. And like, that's why everybody was just so excited on the sideline. Like, it was a great catch, but it was, you got put on the spot, not knowingly, and you made a play. You know what I'm saying? So like, just that mindset of, oh yeah, we got one of those guys that's going to be a playmaker for us.
The thing about that play, and I think on replay, it would have been
incomplete. But at the moment,
it was a great play. At the moment, I thought that was in fact a catch and a pick. But the thing that I thought was amazing, though, is he turned his head. He didn't make the contact that you normally see rookies get a flag on that sort of thing. He was letter perfect in his coverage, and of course, he also showed the ball hawk ability. That's why he's also a receiver on top of it. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.